Have you ever thought that just a small handful of nuts could change your muscle health? I remember Mrs. Martha, 70 years old, who often complained that every time she walked more than 10 minutes, her legs would immediately tighten up. When I reviewed her diet, I realized she was severely lacking in magnesium and potassium, two minerals that act like gatekeepers, helping muscles relax and nerve signals flow smoothly. I advised her to add a small handful of almonds or a few spoonfuls of pumpkin seeds to her breakfast each day. 3 months later, she told me, "Doctor, my legs feel like they've been oiled. I can walk longer now without worrying about cramps." Science has also proven that nuts and seeds contain magnesium, potassium, along with healthy fats and omega-3s, nutrients that both nourish muscles and reduce inflammation. Sometimes you don't need to look far. Just a handful of nuts with your afternoon tea is enough to nurture both your muscles and your heart. Have you ever found yourself lying in bed, eyes closed, but your mind keeps racing, and you end up sleeping only a few broken hours? For many patients over 50, insomnia has almost become an unwanted companion. But what few people realize is this: muscles only truly regenerate during deep sleep. If sleep is poor in quality, the muscles don't have time to recover, and cramps come knocking again. I remember Mr. Richard, 72, who came to my clinic every morning complaining that his legs cramped every night. I guided him to create a simple evening ritual. Turn off the phone and TV an hour before bed. Spend a few minutes stretching, and keep a consistent bedtime each night. Just 1 month later, he returned with a bright smile. "Doctor, I've just had my first full 6 hour sleep in years." Sleep is nature's free medicine, yet so many people forget it. Have you ever wondered? Maybe your body doesn't need another pill. It just needs you to slow down, turn off a few artificial lights, and simply allow yourself to rest. I want you to imagine this. One morning, instead of rushing with a sweet pastry, you prepare a simple boiled egg for yourself. It may seem ordinary, but inside that yolk lies a treasure. Protein that helps muscles recover, vitamin D that helps them relax, and vitamin B12 that nourishes the nerves. That's a powerful trio, protecting your legs from sudden cramps. One of my patients, Mrs. Eleanor, used to suffer from cramps so badly that she was afraid to walk long distances. When I suggested she add eggs to her breakfast 3 times a week, combined with leafy greens and whole grains, after just 2 months she told me, "Doctor, I can now walk around the park without fearing my legs will fail me." Eggs are not a miracle food, but it is precisely their simplicity that makes me trust them. A small egg, easy to find, easy to eat, can become a shield that protects both muscles and nerves. Have you ever felt your legs heavy after a long day of sitting? Older adults often move less, causing poor circulation, and the muscles cry out through painful cramps. But the wonderful thing is, you don't need intense exercise. Just 10 to 15 minutes of slow walking or a few calf stretches before bed can make a real difference. I remember Mr. James, 72, who once called me in the middle of the night because he couldn't bear the cramps anymore. I advised him to try something simple. Stand by the wall, place his hands against it, and stretch his calves for 1 minute before going to bed. He was surprised by how easy it sounded, but a month later he came to see me with a smile. "Doctor, I can sleep through the night without cramps." I never thought such a small exercise could bring me such great peace. The body is like a river. When the blood flows, the muscles are nourished, and the mind feels at ease. Just a few minutes of gentle movement is enough to set that river flowing again. Perhaps you've heard people say that eating bananas can help prevent cramps. But do you know why? Bananas are rich in potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B6, the trio that keeps muscles and nerves working smoothly. I often call bananas a natural battery because they recharge the muscles and nervous system after a long day. One of my patients, Mrs. Linda, used to suffer from nightly cramps. I suggested she try eating a banana in the evening, along with a warm glass of water. Just 2 weeks later, she returned and said, "Doctor, I can finally sleep peacefully without being woken up by the pain." Science also confirms that the potassium and magnesium in bananas help balance electrolytes and prevent muscle contractions. Meanwhile, vitamin B6 nourishes the nerves, allowing signals between the brain and muscles to flow seamlessly. One banana a day, a small but powerful gift of energy for strong and healthy legs. Some patients come to me and say, "Doctor, I've tried so many supplements, but the cramps keep coming." And when I ask more closely, I discover that they drink very little water. The human body is like a garden. Without water, plants wilt and the soil becomes dry and cracked. Muscles are the same. Without enough water and electrolytes, they stiffen, and cramps appear as a warning sign. I still remember Mrs. Evelyn, 68, who used to wake up 3 or 4 times each night because of cramps. When I learned she was drinking only 1 or 2 glasses of water a day, I advised her to add more warm water and occasionally drink coconut water, a natural electrolyte drink that nature has given us. 3 weeks later, she called me back, her voice full of excitement. "Doctor, I finally had a full night's sleep for the first time in years." Just a 2% loss of body water that can significantly weaken muscle function. Drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water daily not only quenches thirst but also nourishes circulation, relaxes the muscles, and helps prevent sudden cramps. You see, cramps are not the destiny of growing older. They are simply reminders that the body is asking to be heard. A handful of nuts, a banana, a glass of water, a deep night's sleep, a morning egg, or just a few minutes of stretching before bed. These simple things can become the keys that unlock health and peace. Have you ever thought that perhaps those pains are not enemies, but old friends coming to remind you to treat your body with more gentleness? Start today by nourishing yourself with small but consistent acts of care. Because health, much like happiness, is always built from the simplest things.